Because I know, like, you guys have been saying how much you want to go up to the north, right?
Yeah, I really do. I really
want to go in the winter because it seems like really a lot of things happening in the winter.
Oh yeah,
and I want to hit up the onsen in the winter.
That's gonna be so nice.
Yeah,
just want to get naked.
Just want to get naked with the boys.
We haven't talked about onsens on this podcast publicly, have we?
I've seen your guys' dicks so much now that I don't even question it. Going to the onsen with you. It's like it used to. I remember the first time we used to like go. First time we went to the onsen together, I was like, oh, we got to like see each other's
penises.
Yeah.
Penises.
Ew.
You know how like Yoshikage Kid is like it's kind of lewd. But now it's just like whatever. We're getting naked with the boys.
Another day with the boys.
Yeah,
but like I feel like a lot of people are afraid to go to onsens for the first time because of that barrier, right? Where you just have to be naked in front of the boys.
I mean, in a lot of countries, it's not very normal, is it?
Yeah. Some people have been like, yeah, you want to come to the onsen with me? And, you know, immediately they're just like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, because I don't want to get naked. And I'm like, it's just that. But, like, it wasn't even like a decision. It was like, in the head, it was like, of course it's no. I'm not getting naked.
Yeah.
It's like,
but everyone around you is naked.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to be the only one that's naked.
It's like most European countries. Everyone's naked.
Yeah, right. But that's surprising though, isn't it? Is that like, I've tried to convince so many of my European friends to go to an onsen because in my head it's just like, oh, bathing together is like a very normal thing in Europe, in a lot of European countries. Right. So I'm like, oh, well, if it's normal in their country and their culture, then it must be easy. So many times I'm like, hey, you want to go to the onsen? They're just like, no.
I don't know, maybe like our generation, it's like less of a thing than it was like 20 years ago.
In the older generation, because I remember trying to convince my cousin to go to the onsen when he visited Japan. And it was just like breaking down layers, right? So first I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of like how can this, like, because he's the biggest normie you can imagine, right? So how do I explain the cultural significance of like an onsen and a hot spring to someone who has never watched an anime? Right.
This is the same cousin that watched the live action Attack on Titan.
Yes.
Okay.
And like he's like 7-8 years older than me, so he's from like the older generation as well. So had to be like, okay, so it's kind of like a hot tub, but it's like a public hot tub. Yeah. And then he was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun, you know. So he was like, oh yeah,
does it?
Yeah. So you wear like a bathing suit and everything, right? And I was like, okay, so here's the thing. Here, you just everyone's naked and. You know, it's just a really relaxing experience, and it's a really cool experience. And his voice tone just like completely changed to just, oh yeah, just to, oh, I don't know about that one, Chief.
I love how you had to go in such a roundabout way. It wasn't just like a, yeah, we get naked. It was like, well, I mean,
we get bathing suits. We just take them off.
Yeah,
we just take them off.
Yeah. You can wear bathing suits until you enter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, what was the first onsen experience for you guys like? Because I remember
I was with you guys.
Yeah,
I think it was when we all went with. I think it was us three and Alan.
Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah, in the Oedo Onsen in Odaiba. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Which is like a massive. It's like a super center or super onsen as it's called. But
and I remember the fact of like knowing that we're gonna get naked in front of each other. That was just like I think I just built it up in my mind so much because I'm just like, oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen.
I mean, I remember that day. Like we all stepped into the onsen, and Alan was like, "All right, lads, whip them out. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's just all
get them on the table. Get the meshes out.
Just gather around in a circle, and we'll just look at each other's dicks, and then just be over it." And we're like, "All right, 3, 2, 1. We'll look at the dicks." It's like, "Okay, we good? Okay, no one's popping a fat. All right, we good."
Yeah, and then it just literally took 5 minutes, and then I was like completely comfortable, and then it was an amazing experience. And I feel like people who are so afraid to go over that barrier are missing such a good experience of going to an onsen.
It's an experience you can't really get anywhere else. I feel like even I've been to kind of public bathing places in Europe as well, but there's just I don't know. It just I don't want to say it hits different, but there's something that's not quite right.
There's the vibe is just different.
Yeah,
it's definitely like vibe check. You know?
Hey yo, onsen check,
yeah, bro.
I don't think we have public bathing places in Europe, do we? But we have like the saunas, which are.
I mean, it's kind of similar, right?
But similar. I guess, yeah. You don't really bathe together. You just get in the sauna naked, and some people are like, they'll cover themselves. I think you're supposed to cover.
I don't know, because for me, it's not just the onsen experience. It's like everything around the onsen experience. Like getting out of the onsen when you're like, especially in the winter, sitting out in the in a public onsen when it's like really cold or sometimes raining, and I've heard when it's snowing, it's amazing as well.
So good.
Yeah, like that's like, I've heard it's like proper anime where like there's mist and everything.
Yeah.
I want to experience that one day, but after coming out and having that drink of cold milk, that's like the most refreshing.
Hand on the hip.
Hand on the hip. Yeah, so what do? You have to like put your hand on the hip, drink the milk in one, and it's like the most refreshing glass of milk. But it's like vibe, right? You gotta do it. And then having like an izakaya beer afterwards is just fucking incredible.
Yeah.
It makes you, when you're in an onsen, for some reason, it makes you want to just be a CEO and talk business. Like, I don't even have business to talk about, but I'll be like, gentlemen, let's discuss the topic at hand. And they're like, anime titties. I mean, it just makes you want to talk about important things, being in a bath with 3 other people. Like,